Welcome to So You Think You Can Write, where we give serious writing critique without taking ourselves too seriously. My name is Lindsay, and with me here today is...
Adrienne Quintana.
Booher.
Janette Rallison.
Oh, and that goes back to me, sorry. And this is the way it works. One of us are going to read today. Is that
Janette?
Jeanette's going to read. And if we decide that an agent or editor would stop reading, we'll hit the buzzer. And hopefully there'll be no abuse of power. Jeanette doesn't get to buzz on this, so probably we're safe from the double buzz. All right, Janette.
Yes. Okay. This is called Nathan Unleashed. My hospital room is dark, except for a single task light the nurses use to take my vitals. A television hangs on the wall, black and lifeless. I don't notice the bouquets of flowers and plants littered around the room, interspersed with foil balloons, potted plants, and cards from concerned friends, teachers, and agency members. That was a long sentence. Is that why you were
Okay, I'm buzzing it because I don't notice, and then she goes and lists, or he or she
Everything.
goes and lists all the things they don't notice. So obviously
They did notice.
So that kind of threw me off. Although I think it's
Good
very easy
description.
to fix.
Yeah.
The room is decorated with boom, and you move on. But anyway, that's me.
Well, I ignore.
I will not. I will. Yeah, I ignore. That'd be a better way of doing that. So that's why I buzzed it.
Okay.
I don't like that it starts in a hospital room.
Uh-huh.
Is he in bed?
Really?
Are they in bed?
And I
It
wonder-
doesn't matter.
We've seen a lot of hospital rooms.
Right.
So, yeah.
I think that is
Cliche.
not the most dramatic place that you could start a story, and because it gets seen a lot, it's kind of cliche at this point. I just, this is not an exciting spot to start a story.
A hospital room with a hatchet in my head might be.
Okay, all
wanna
right, if
see
there was
how
a
the hatchet
hospital
got there,
room
'cause now
and
we're
you
gonna need a
described that
flashback.
there's a hatchet-wielding murderer at the door,
Let's see where the next sentence goes.
then I
Maybe we're
guess
gonna
I would
get
be okay. And if that happens in this, I'm gonna retract my
Okay.
answer.
back her buzzer.
All right. Instead, I sit with a glass of ice water in my hand, staring at a chip in the stark white paint on the far corner of the wall. The phone rings for the 12th time this morning, just like it has every morning for the past several days. But I don't answer it. I just let it ring, ring, ring. A nurse pokes her head in. Betty, she's my favorite. Her graying hair, Disney-themed scrubbed, and perpetual smile make the hospital bearable. Barely. I'm here to take your numbers. You okay with that? She asks. I nod. She saunters in, a smile filling her face.
I was down with everything until we got to the Disney scrubs, and now I'm like, I think our character's a kid, and our narrator is in their head and using words that a kid would not use.
Oh, okay.
That's a good point. Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of throws you off.
I hadn't thought of that. Okay, where were we back?
Unless
She
we're telling it
saunters
from
in.
way long ago, but yeah.
Okay, smiling face, and removes the stethoscope from her neck and places it on my chest while watching the blip of my heart rate monitor and noting numbers. You look and sound good. Looks like everything is back to normal. And look, you're down to 1 IV. She walks to her computer and types in a few notes, then waits for the blood pressure cuff to squeeze the blood out of my arm before typing more notes. I spoke to the doctor and he said you can go home tomorrow. I don't say anything. Honey? Still nothing. I'm staring at the chipping paint again. Okay.
Well, obviously there's some tension, there's some drama. I'm curious. There's some mystery with this. Usually we start in the story too soon, and maybe we did here, or maybe we started too late. Maybe we need to go back to where whatever put them in the hospital happened, and maybe that's a starting point, or maybe we just get them at some point a little bit after the hospital to where the story begins. I'm not exactly sure. It just doesn't feel like it quite starts in the right spot for me.
Right.
Yeah, and we didn't get enough information on the first page either. We don't know
Right.
the gender of the main character. We don't really know how old they are. We don't know, like, the mood is that
Do we
they're
even know the name?
Yeah.
I don't think we do.
Nathan Unleashed.
But
So
that's
it's
from the
that's-
title.
yeah.
That's the title of the book, but we don't actually know.
not
that
in here.
character.
Right.
We got Honey or something from the
Honey,
nurse.
right, which
But that could be male or female.
that could be, and that but again, depending on the age of the nurse, since she's got gray hair, she calls everybody honey, no matter what their age.
Right.
So, you really don't know.
Yeah. Well, I think I liked the writing. I liked I liked the some short sentences mixed in with the long ones, and
Yeah, it's good variety.
but I don't know what's at stake. I don't know if this is just a routine. Like, is this person in a mental ward, or have they been shot?
Do they have like a terminal illness and they've been there, because this
Yeah.
person's been here for several days?
And the only clue is the agency members. So what agency are we talking about? Are we talking about the FBI? Are we talking about the travel agency? I'm just not sure,
Yeah.
right? You know,
True.
which
Travel
agency
agency.
are we dealing with?
Yeah, so I feel like maybe just a little bit more tweak or internal thought could let us know if there is something high stakes or if this is just a, more of a, normal problem that they had to go to the hospital for.
That is kind of, I didn't even notice the agency members because it was in such a long list of like potted plants. They didn't notice the cards from the concern. It was a huge long list of concerned friends, teachers, which is a clue that they're a kid,
Okay.
and then
Possibly.
agency members,
Or-
which sounds like maybe we've got like Kim Possible or something going on here.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Right. And like I said, but the writing itself, like just the flow, the structure,
Yeah, the prose is
It's
very
good.
nice.
prose is
Yes.
very good. And,
Prose is
and
good.
I just think maybe the story starts,
in the wrong
maybe this is like chapter 2, or, you know what I'm saying? I'm not
Oh, yeah.
exactly sure,
Yeah, maybe starting with if there's something dramatic that put them in the hospital, then that would be a good place to start.
Because they're going to tell us at some point what happened to get this
Right.
person there, hopefully.
Yeah.
And then it's going to have to be a flashback, which is never as effective.
Right. So if like I said, usually, like I said, people start the story too far back, and then you get too much backstory. This almost feels like you need to go back, 24 hours or 48 hours or a week or whatever, and figure out what put them in the hospital and
Yeah.
what led up to that. Because it sounds like it may have been interesting, especially if it's an agency.
Yeah, if it's the CIA or FBI, I would state that there, because that would, give us higher tension right there. Because agency could be anything.
That does feel to me sort of like something like,
A teen agency like Kim Possible.
Yeah.
Or,
The modeling agency.
It
have
could
been
be the modeling
that's right.
agency.
Maybe they had
She's-
plastic surgery.
Or
we don't know. I mean, if it
Could be.
is some kind of a spy thing, though, we need to get the feel of danger instead of just
Yeah.
like the main mood that we've got here is that this person's kind of despondent
Yeah.
Right.
or not happy, and we don't even fully get that.
Right.
Why
They're just
Oh,
staring
why
at the
they're
chip in the
happy.
pan. Yeah.
And we are in their heads, but we're not having any of that internal thought that would let us know what's happened. So
Yeah. So.
Okay, so let us move on to voting then.
Yes.
I guess I'll start. I'm going to give it a right. I really enjoy the prose, and I would love to take a journey with this author because I enjoy the way that the words flow. But I don't know who this character really is. I don't know the setting. I mean, I know it's a hospital, but I don't know for the story as a whole. I don't know the setting or genre or what kind of a problem we're dealing with. For me, I just don't know enough about anything about the story for me to give it a better rating than a right.
Yeah, and I'm going to give it a right also, but not because this writer isn't really good. I think it's just, it needs to start somewhere else. Or I guess for me, it's more important that the voice is right, that the internal dialogue is right for the age of the character.
Oh, I'm going to vote the same. I'm going to give it a right, but again, for the same reasons. The writing is solid. Just the story seems to start at the wrong place. So go back and write the scene before this and see how that looks, because I think there's a really good story here, and I think this person, whoever this is, has done a really good job with the prose itself.
I'm going to give it a set because I liked the writing, and if I was an editor or agent, I think I would read onto the second page to see if we got some of that tension and conflict on the second page. I mean, we demand a lot on our first page, we really do. And I know it's hard to put everything on the first page. But I just feel like we just need something that's more high stakes. And I wouldn't have said this when we started this show, that a hospital setting is cliche, but I feel like we have seen a lot of hospitals. So if we're seeing them, then that means editors and agents are too. So you might want to keep that in mind also.
Okay, there you go. So did we get it right? Or do you disagree with us venomously? We are not right on it.
Please comment below. Let us know.
Right.
Or if only I'm right.
Don't put us in the hospital.
Don't
Yeah.
tell Janette if she's the only one right.
We'll be
Just don't tell.
despondent staring at the paint chips on the wall.
They might be nice paint chips.
I like paint chips.
Anyway,
Enough about the paint job.
I like Dorito chips.
All right,
Doritos.
that's it for this episode.
There's going to be Doritos when the chip parts now. I'm sensing
Only
Doritos
if it's
behind
Cool
us.
Ranch. Cool Ranch. Not spicy or nacho.
All right, until next time, get ready.
Get set.
Right.
Welcome to So You Think You Can Write, where we give serious writing critique without taking ourselves too seriously. My name is Lindsay, and with me here today is...
Adrienne Quintana.
Brock Booher.
Janette Rallison.
All right, and this is how it works. We are going to have...
Stop.
Okay, I will.
We don't have any buzzers.
Oh.
I'm going, what's missing here?
We would have to
Something
go...
not quite right.
I didn't notice that.
The most
None
important
of us
part of the
did.
whole dang show, you know?
Are you recording that right now?
Yeah, you'll get all that.
Good. We need a new outtake.
There you go. So you got something to work with. You don't get one.
I don't get one.
Well, so you're getting all this. This is perfect. Ah, there we go.
Still want one.
Jeanette's gonna buzz it anyway.
Wait, which one is Janette not using?
Now,
Yeah, I like that one better.
okay, pass that to Randy.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay,
It's
so
like
you want
on
to
the
start all over again, Randy?
Yeah.